Yo, what is up today, YouTubians? Berkshire Blades here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing a little bit of a comparison video for you guys. These might be two of the most direct competitors in the USA-made EDC knife market. The Benchmade Bugout has basically become the benchmark for an ultralight American-made folder, but the Hogue Deka gives you almost the exact same specs. They have the crossbar lock, which they call the able lock. Benchmade calls theirs the axis lock. And in this version, they give you MagnaCut on the Deka. So these both do have aftermarket scales and parts on them. So for comparison purposes, I've got my handy dandy tape measure here, but I want to basically go by the paper specs and what they give you. So it'll kind of maybe speed it up a little bit. You don't have to watch my big meaty hands fumble around with these. And B, they're going to be a little bit different overall since I added the aftermarket scales on them. Not much, but very close. So basically, again, they're like the exact same size, a little bit different blade shape. But the Bugout is listed at 7.46 inches and the Deka is 7.5 inches. Like literally no difference. The blade on the Bugout, 3.24 inches. The Deka, 3.25 inches. The blade width, exactly an inch on both of them. The blade thickness on the Bugout, it comes in a little bit thinner at 90 thousandths. And the Deka comes in at 110 thousandths. So it's just a little bit thinner on the Bugout, which should give you, a little bit more slicier action. The Bugout is a full flat grind. Now the Deka is a flat grind also, but it does have, it definitely tapers out a little bit more and then dives back in for the swedge on the top. So we keep that in mind too. You get CPM S30V on the Bugout, CPM MagnaCut on this version of the Deka. You can also get it in 20CV for a little bit more of an upcharge. The Bugout's got a drop point blade. The Deka has a clip point blade, and you can also get this in the Wharncliffe blade. I went with the clip point blade just because, I like Wharncliffe blades, but for some reason I just didn't like the look of the Deka's Wharncliffe blade. I don't know what it was, and I think this is also a really nice aggressive looking clip point blade. So I just like the blade look on this one a little bit more, and just my personal opinion on that one. So the blade, right? So the S30V blade. The HRC range is 58 to 61. Tailor hardness tested the Bugout at 60.2, right? So it's at the higher, mid to higher range of what the HRC can be on this. And on the Deka, the HRC for MagnaCut is 59 to 64. Like 64 is being really high. 65 is pushing. I don't know if anybody's actually doing any at 65. But this Tailor hardness tested at 63.4, which is ridiculously good for MagnaCut. So as far as the hardening process of the steels, Hogue is shooting for the higher end of their range, which the Bugout is a little bit higher end of the range, but in comparison, they're really pushing it up to close to 64 with this. So that's really good. I like to see that a lot. The Bugout, the lock, they call it the axis lock, and I love the action on Benchmades. I love their axis lock. I like the amount of detent that they have. See, if you go a little bit light, it's it's right there, right? And I wouldn't want to loosen it anymore because I didn't really give it much of a try. I like the detent because it's snappier coming out. The Hogue has a little bit less of detent, which makes it very much easier to shut, but unless you push up and in, if I just push out, it's just a softer opening. Nothing bad at all about that, but it's just a little bit of a softer opening. So if you really push up and get after it, it pops open. But this feels a little bit smoother, but me personally, right, that's just a preference. I like the detent on the Bugout a little bit more because I like it to snap a little bit easier with less, upward and in force with the thumb stud. I've never had anything bad to say about Benchmade's axis locks. I absolutely love them. Back to the comparison, mini deep carry pocket clip for the Bugout. You can get different clips for it. And it's a deep carry pocket clip for the Deka. It's a little bit longer than the clip on the Bugout, but not by much. It is also deep carry. They are both reversible, which is sweet. This one I have taken the factory scales off of. So this one is just right hand tip up. So moving on, basically, you know, what does USA made manufacturing mean to me? What does it mean to you? It might mean something different. I have said it before and I'll say it again. I am very, very much an advocate for USA made manufacturing. Not saying I don't own Chinese made knives or knives made in Taiwan, but I do not mind paying more. Even, you know, a reasonable premium, you're always going to pay more. I do not mind paying more for USA made knives. That's just how I've always been. Not every single knife I have is USA made. But I love the fact that they are USA made knives. I mean, I can't say enough about that. Some people, it really matters. I ain't carrying Chinese garbage, and you know, there's a lot of people with very strong opinions about it. Mine are not that strong. I support the U.S. economy 100. So, you know, that's just me. You know, the blade steel, right? This S30V is a great steel. MagnaCut's a better steel, and they're pushing the hardness on this one. You know what I'm saying? The HRC rating, they're really pushing on this one, so that's fantastic. The cutting geometry, because the Bugout's a full flat grind blade, and it's a little bit thinner, the cutting on this one is just going to be a little bit slicier. That just is what it is. That's just physics facts. You know what I mean? So we can cut them with them real quick, I suppose. What the hell was that? All right, that's funny. So, Bugout, just butter, Deka, caught a little bit. Let's try a fresh one. So, nothing bad about that either. You know what I mean? So, they're both extremely sharp. This, I just right off the bat, this one is easier to cut paper, just smoother. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Again, that's just the physics of the geometry of the blade. And it could be the coating they use too. You know what I mean? It could be that Benchmade's coating. Like, different coatings affect how things slice through. You know, they affect it. You know what I mean? So it could just be that Benchmade's maybe it's just a little bit better. So like the size, you know, on paper, guys, it's just apples to apples. Like, they're essentially the same knife. We'll weigh them both real quick, and we'll see what they come in at. I don't know if you can see this here. Let me move this thing back so we can see what we're doing here. There we go. So these are aftermarket, right? So the weight on these two knives, you know, I'll put the factory specs maybe in the comments. So we did it again. I always accidentally hit the button. So 2.4 ounces with the aftermarket parts. 2.9 ounces with the aftermarket scales. So talking about scales real quick. So the factory scales on the Deka, I hated them at first, right? I picked it up and I thought, wow, this feels like a Fisher Price toy. It was just very smooth, like very cheap feeling. These are Applied Weapons Technology aluminum Cerakote scales. But the factory scales, I hated them. With that said, after carrying it for a little while, I don't know if it was just the wear on them or the oils from my skin getting on them, they felt a little bit better. I still wasn't a huge fan of them. The Bugout factory scales, everybody talks trash about their Grivory scales. They flex when you squeeze the hell out of them. And I'm like, dude, I don't grip my knife like this and squeeze it when I'm using it. I did not mind the Grivory scales on this. I thought it made it super light. They were very thin. It fit the hand well. I had no complaints about them. I just wanted to deck this one out a little bit more. So factory scales, I think the Bugout ones were better than the Hogue scales. I absolutely hated these. So these aluminum scales, though, I had to put these on here because this is such a nice USA made knife with MagnaCut, and their the Able lock, their crossbar lock, works really well on this. It's got some really neat, like, radioactive pattern stuff going on with them. You know what I mean? I just thought it was nice, but with that said, it's a nice lock. It's got some real good grip to it. I mean, your thumb's not sliding off of this. So this is a great knife, and I just really feel like it deserved better scales. So I went with the aluminum scales, and they feel much better in my hand. They're a little bit more contoured on the edges. I think they're a little bit thinner too. So, you know, size comparison, again, they're aftermarket scales, but they're pretty darn close. Actually, the Deka might still just be a hair thicker. Not much though. I mean, they're essentially the same. excuse me, with the bug out. So I went with the Glow Rhino tritium scales. It's hard to see because my light's beaming in there, but this thing lights up like Chernobyl at night. It's so bright. Tritium's a radioactive hydrocarbon isotope. It's got a 12.3 year, I think 12.37 year. I'm trying to nerd out on this one. Half-life. So that means it will stay as bright as it is until like 12.37 years. It will be half as bright, and then another 12.37 years will be half as bright. So basically, I'll die by the time this thing completely dims out. But this is cool because it's not glow in the dark. You just leave it in your drawer for 6 months and then peek in your drawer if it was completely black, and it would be lit up just as bright. So that's cool. And I also, so Flytanium, huge shout out to them. I've got a link for them in my description. It is an affiliate link, so it helps the channel if you use it. But dude, they're crushing it. They got some awesome scales, awesome stuff. Anyway, they did a collaboration with Glow Rhino, and I've got the tritium thumb stud on here, and they did a collaboration with Glow Rhino for a tritium backspacer. So pretty much no matter which way you set this thing down, you got something glowing on you. If you drop it at night, you'll be able to see it and find it really easily. So this is just a choice that I made. Like, it's this not the factory knife, obviously, but I like the feel of these scales. They are a little bit more rigid, and then throwing in that backspacer, I just think it improved the bug out a lot. So let's get down to price too real quick, since we're talking about all this aftermarket stuff. So the bug out from the factory is $200, right? I don't think it's a bad knife for $200. I love it. I love it for $200. It could be cheaper, sure. It's USA made though, so I don't mind paying the $200. The Deka is $167 with Magna Cut. Bam, you know what I'm saying? So that's just better. So again, I hated the scales. If they gave you a little bit better scales, or maybe put some G10 on there, I think it would, you know, even if it was the same price as the bug out, that's a big win for these guys. But I paid $70 for the scales on this. So as this knife sits, $237. Magna Cut with aluminum scales, crossbar lock, USA made. Like that's a good price for this. So the bug out, I spent a little bit more on the build on this one. So $200 for the knife. I paid $62 for the scales, $60 for the thumb stud, and then $70 for the backspacer. So I'm into this knife for like $392. That's choices I made. That is not just, you know, that's because I made those choices and added all the stuff on there. But I wanted to. I wanted to have a better boss bug out. You know what I'm saying? So that is what it is. But, you know, if this knife just sat factory for $200, and if they did aluminum on this one, or even G10 for $200, this is going to be a better buy. Now, Benchmade has the Life Sharp warranty, right? So there's that. Like, I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I can just mail this knife back to Hogue and be like, hey, sharpen this thing, tune it, lube it, and give it a, you know, fine-tune tune-up and send it back to me. I don't think they'll do that. So I've always said that Benchmade's Life Sharp guarantee is worth its weight in gold. So, you know, again, we're comparing, you know, essentially apples to apples, but one might be a pair. You know, the ergonomics, before I hated the scales on this. Now that I put these on there, fantastic ergonomics. I think these scales are very comfortable. Applied Weapons Technology is crushing it. The pocket clip, I think if it was a little shorter, this might poke you a little bit, but there's 0 hot spots in it with where it sits. I mean, I can squeeze the heck out of this knife, and it feels really good. The size of the handle feels good. The contouring of these scales feel really good. It's got the jimping up top. So this is a really good feeling knife. The bug out, there's no hot spots in this either. You know what I'm saying? Like it fits the hand really well. There's no jimping on the blade, but there are on the back of this here. So these are in the scales. You know, I wouldn't hate if there was some jimping on the blade, but you know, it is what it is. Like, I guess also it's kind of a matter of preference. If you like, some people don't even like jimping. They don't like the way it feels under their thumb. If you're a tactile person, you know, that is what it is. So, you know, the pocket clip, the bug out, you know, if you've had a bug out, you know, it's a very high retention. It's a good pocket clip. I like that it's short. I like the mini deep carry pocket clips. It's nice that they got the cutout for a little bit of, you know, weight reduction on it. The Deka's got the same thing, so you can get it in there. You know, it's got the cutout. The retention's a little bit less on the Deka one, but it's not like bad. I'm not saying it's not good. Maybe it's just because it's a touch longer. It does have a higher, you know, what do they call it? Like the higher ramp on it than the bug out does. So if you're in a hurry, you know, this might slide into your pocket a little bit easier because it's got that ramp. again, you know, you can change pocket clips and stuff. A lot of this stuff is just a matter of preference. At the end of the day, it comes down to which USA made knife you think you want that gives you a better deal for your money. And, you know, if customization is a huge thing for you, you know, the Benchmade Bugout has a huge aftermarket following for different parts, scales, pieces, like, you know, you name it. There's like an endless possibility for customization. The Deka's got some options, right? But like, if customizing your knife isn't your thing, then like that doesn't really matter to you. So, you know, at the end of the day, for the knife from the factory, right? Because of the warranty you get on this, just because I enjoy the blade shape, the grind of it, the sliciness of it. I personally, right, I might get some hate for this. I would go with the Bugout for $200 over the Deka for $167. Now, if the Deka from the factory had G10 scales or aluminum scales, you know, maybe we're talking a different story. But we're not talking a different story. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is, right? They give you really crappy scales with this one and a little bit better, not the greatest scales with this one. My build personally, money not being a factor, like if you just laid these two knives down, like which one do I want to keep? I'm keeping this one all day long. If I was going into a store and buying them, you know, that's another story, right? So it's like, is MagnaCut that important to you? Is it that much better than S30V? Like, we can do a whole nother video on that. But, you know, me personally, man, especially with what I put into this knife and how I was able to dress it up and the options that are available for dressing up a knife aftermarket, you know, sliciness, I'm going with the Bugout. You know, the ergonomics of these two scales personally, right? I think the applied weapons technology, I think they're more comfortable scales and they're aluminum. So I kind of like that cool feeling in your hand of the metal. But, you know, I like G10. You know what I mean? Like, I've always liked G10. These have some nice grip to them. I do like the action on the Bugout a little bit more with their axis lock. Just because of the detent, you know what I mean? And, you know, their axis lock's hidden just a little bit more into the scale, whereas, you know, it could be just because of the scales on this. I don't remember from the factory, but these kind of poke out a little bit more, and they have some grip, which is also nice. I mean, you can sit here all day and debate these things, but at the end of the day, you lay these two knives down in front of me. I'm picking the Bugout because I love Benchmade. I love this knife too. I'm not saying I don't. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, man. Which one would you keep as they sit? Which one would you buy from the factory? $200 for this one, or $167 with this one with Fisher Price feel and scales? Maybe that's not important to some people. Maybe some people like those scales. I find it hard to believe if someone's like, yeah, these have great scales. You know, for the extra $70 to throw these on here, if this one versus the factory one, I would probably pay the $237 for this with these scales on it over $200 for this, just sitting factory G10. So again, because they're aftermarket, it's kind of a matter of preference. I don't want to sit here all day and jabber your guys' ear off, but that's pretty much it. That's what I got for you guys today. I really hope you guys chime in and let me know what you're thinking on these. Again, my kids keep asking me these questions. Dad, if you can only keep one premium knife, if, you know, these are both USA made knives, which one would you rather keep? They keep sparking all these questions with me. So I'm like, yeah, let's just make a video and we'll see what people think about it. Do me a favor, guys, like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. It helps out a ton. It only takes a second to hit it. It means a lot to us small content creators. Share this video if you liked it so other people can check it out. And if you are subscribed, turn those alerts on so when I drop something new, y'all know about it. I appreciate all the viewers, and I really appreciate all of my subscribers. I really hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace, YouTube.